Hi Scorpios, and welcome to your October 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign this month. Thank you so much for being here, Scorpios. I hope you're feeling okay coming into this month. It's an interesting time for sure, and we are preparing to get into your time of the year at the end of October. So you can definitely feel a lot of energy on the horizon, and like you might kind of see a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel of what you're doing. And we have a lot to talk about. So as I'm looking at your spread, it really makes sense to me. I definitely resonate with what's coming up. There's something a bit erratic, okay? There's something a little bit, maybe you're even feeling like something is a little bit broken or a little bit snagged, okay? Yet full of potential and full of possibility and with a lot of purpose behind it and time and context. But it's a little bit snagged and it's a little bit broken and it's a little bit tiresome, okay? But you kind of want to do this over here and you want to do that and you want to make that happen. And it's hard to get out of bed for it, but then you are really excited for it at other times. Okay, we've got in Libra season, it feels like for Scorpio, okay? So in the beginning and middle section of October, we've got a big spotlight shining on, any type of erratic mentality or really extreme emotions on both sides. And if you're a Scorpio who's already healed that, I think it's a very easy time for you. But if you're a Scorpio who's still struggling with extreme emotions or struggling to understand your context, there are a lot of little hoops to be jumping through, it feels like, this month. So not to freak you out, Scorpios, not to create any worry, because your sign is one of the most supported signs of this year. So things are probably going to turn out fine, and all of this will probably, get in order of its own accord. But it's just a really great opportunity in the month of October, especially before Mercury goes retrograde in your sign on the 14th of October. It's a great opportunity to just get an acceptance of where things stand, okay? To just understand, okay, I've been doing this for how many years? I've been on this path for how many years? And yes, I see that there are other paths, and I see that there are, now bigger things that I want. And now there are, things that I feel connected to with my purpose that I've never been able to connect to with purpose in that way before. And those things might not totally be congruent with what I'm doing now. So what do I do? That's kind of the main storyline I feel right now for many Scorpios. And as you're feeling that way, I think that what is most important is just finding calm, just finding tranquility, just accepting where your path has led you and the benevolence that you do have. You've got Ace of Pentacles coming up. You've got Seven of Pentacles. You have King of Pentacles. A lot of value, okay? And it's funny, I was thinking about Scorpio and I was thinking about, attempting to thrive as a Scorpio in this year. And there are difficulties, there are tough things for Scorpio, but also what I've gotten a lot of the time with Scorpio when I think of that energy, and when I think of the difficulties of a Scorpio in 2020, what I keep getting is this is a very desirable set of difficulties, which is funny because it's not that it's easy. It's not that things for Scorpio are really great, but it's a desirable set of difficulties, okay? Because it's like through these difficulties or through these quandaries or questions or fine print details, you get a lot of power, okay? You get a lot of knowledge. It's like power of knowledge, okay? It's not like power, but it's like the ability to sift through something, the ability to understand the fine details of every aspect of something that once pervaded you, and now knowing it is very empowering for you. But it seems to take a lot of constant revisiting or constant thumbing through to really get down to the bottom of some of these things you're going through. Like we have I think for Scorpio, it's probably the most precise year or the most, really focused, fixated, perfectionist energy that Scorpio has felt in a long time. So any of you that are doing new things or trying to start businesses or having new relationships, as it is a year, 1 year, it's year of the rat, so it's like the energy of one. So we all have something new in our lives that we don't have a lot of context with, yet the Capricorn, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto demands context. So this is the context. So this is the conflict we're all feeling. And then Scorpio just really focuses that and makes that bigger and bigger. You can see why things feel erratic, okay? It all makes sense. But just if you're feeling a sense of difficulty or if you're feeling like, I don't know what to do, very Nine of Swords Nine of Wands. Okay, yeah, you've got 2 nines in your readings. You're really tired of something. You're feeling like something's dragging out. You're feeling like something should have ended a long time ago, but you're still having to devote so much energy to it. You know that there's something new and better for you, but you're worried it won't support you. And you kind of want to walk away from it. You kind of want to walk away from the current context. But I don't think it's quite time. I think that feels undercooked. If it were really the most benevolent time for like walking away or starting anew, I think that you wouldn't have so much second guessing coming up. I think that you wouldn't have so much devotion to what you're still doing. Yeah, you're still very devoted to something, but you're questioning it. So I just want to really point out, Scorpios, that this is like as hard as it gets, despite it being a desirable set of difficulties. This is kind of as hard as it gets, all right, for you this year. And you have the opportunity through that to totally transcend it, okay? By the 4th week of October, you can see that things are already getting a little bit better, right? You can already see that just in the tarot cards, like, okay, yeah, that seems to flow a little bit better. That seems more reasonable. There's progress made from the 1st to the 4th week. And on one hand, you have to cut yourself way more slack than you're giving yourself. And on the other hand, you've got to kick into gear. Okay, this is hard to explain, but very simple in practice, I promise. You got to cut yourself more slack, but you got to get more into gear too. And this is kind of cool. Like, as I'm talking about this, I'm getting chills. Like, as a Scorpio myself, I'm like, okay, I see how this works. Like, you mean by cutting myself a little bit more slack, or by stopping being such a perfectionist to myself, I might actually have a little bit more energy to devote to what actually matters and to the things that will prevent this fear and this unneeded perfectionism. The answer is yes. It's like very clear for Scorpio that, there are just some like mismatching puzzle pieces, okay? You're more eccentric than usual. Ever since Jupiter went through your sign in 2018, it's kind of left a resounding sense of eccentricity. And you have like a lot of doors that are open to you and a lot of things, and maybe you don't really want to choose just one. And Jupiter in Capricorn this year has been like, okay, but you got to choose one. And Scorpio hasn't really seemed to accept that, and that's okay. But what I will say is, if you guys have identified like a brand new purpose, okay, or a brand new desire, and then you have this current status quo of your life that feels like it can't exist on the same plane, this to me feels to be the most prevalent thing for Scorpio right now. What I'm understanding about that is that you've got to access a person that you were quite a long time ago to understand how this all comes together. Because it all comes together. That's the thing. All of this comes together. It's not about dividing your purpose. It's not about saying, okay, I can either have this or I can either have that, but they can't coexist. This is about understanding that there's a type of flair of like combinative, an ability to combine these structures that you've created in a way that makes you like unstoppable, okay? And I know this is a lot of kind of like allegorical talk, and that's what this channel is after all, but you just have to think about like the things that you might have convinced yourself are not harmonious in your life, and really ask yourself, why aren't these things harmonious? Or why am I no longer harmonious with this person that I'm in a relationship with? Why am I no longer harmonious with this career? Was I ever to begin with? Was it kind of like a square peg in a round hole the whole time? Or has it just become that? Yeah, there's a lot of sifting through. There's a lot of, maybe you even need to like write it out, like journal it out, just speak like every day. Like I can see Scorpio in October just pulling out their phone every day and talking into the voice recording app just to start to kind of comprehend how far they've come. Because you guys have come a long way. I mean, I really feel in like the last 5 years that Scorpio is like so much more well-rounded and so much more capable to forge their own destiny that you can almost forget like where you were. And it's interesting because you need to actually reach back to where you were to now see where you currently are and how great it is. Because I think that the worst case scenario is really for Scorpio to be like, okay, well, this place that I'm at or this situation that I'm in is just like not good. And this is like the worst chapter of my life. When in reality, you can look back and it's like, wow, no longer are any of those things even issues anymore. Whoa, am I actually way more empowered than I realized? Whoa, can I actually do way more than I realized? Am I limiting myself way too much? Maybe a little bit. And then you just kind of step forward and you allow life to work with you in a harmonious way. And that, Scorpio, is where you can actually see or comprehend energetically what freedom is. In a year with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn, I mean, this is like so crazy powerful. Like, I can't even hardly touch on it for you guys. But let's talk a little bit about the week to week, and we'll come back to it. So week number 1, Scorpio, you have 9 of Swords rooted down by King of Pentacles. So yeah, you're thinking way too much about money or time or the energy that you have to spare instead of doing. Like, you just need to do, Scorpio. You need to get more action oriented, get a little bit more outside of the mind and into the body. It's like your body's like saying, I can do this. You know, you might even be like tremoring a little bit, or like you're putting your arm out and it's like shaking, or having a headache or feeling like vertigo or something, just because your mind is like overtaxed. Too much electricity in the head, too much nervous system implications. And I think that some of this has to do just with really trying to analyze the brunt of your capabilities, the brunt of your value right now. And you've kind of analyzed it now, you've gotten an understanding of it, and now it's time to let it be. Okay, this is one of the areas that Scorpio really karmically struggles, is like letting things be in life, allowing things to reach their potential, allowing a business to make what it makes, allowing a person to be who they are in a relationship. Like, it's not that Scorpio is like a control freak. I mean, some of them can be, but you got to see it. You got to see about just how hard you're squeezing something into place and how much you're forcing something to be what it is, and it's great for Scorpio starting in the first week of October for like the rest of this year to just know what it is that they have to do, to show up for work, to show up for the job, to inject a little bit of their incredible passion and power into it, yes, and then to clock out and go home. Okay, clock out, go home, go for a run, exercise, watch out for gaining weight. Very easy for Scorpio to gain weight right now. But you got to clock out. You got to let your mind let go of things, Scorpio. I'm finding, okay, and I haven't actually really touched on this for you guys much this year, but I'm seeing it now, and it's like, whoa, it snuck up on us. We're really staying in our head too much. We're not clocking out of things. We're not letting ourselves rest, okay? You got to let yourself rest, Scorpio. Otherwise, you could get like a autoimmune disease or something weird, or, you got to let yourself rest, okay? That's what the first week of October is about, learning how to rest again, learning how to enjoy life, learning how to not be afraid, learning that what comes, what exists. It's not about, you're a great manifestor. You can make things that didn't exist, but you don't have to do that all day, every day. Let yourself be. Okay, week number 2, you have the Queen of Swords rooted down by Strength. Already much better territory. And I've seen this for a lot of the signs, actually. There's this progression from 9 of Swords to Queen of Swords that's prevalent for a lot of people this month in October, and I love to see it. I'm really happy to see it, because I think for so long this year, whether it be about, COVID or anything that we've been through, we have been worried, or we've been stressed, or we've been not sure how things continue. But that's changing in October, and we really get a much better scope and trust and security that we can overcome this, that we can be stronger, that we can, make our lives secure despite the environment that we're in or the set of standards that we have to adhere to. We are stronger than that. And that's a great transition that I feel from the first to the second week of October. And it's like, this is such good timing, Scorpio, the natural timing of this reading, with Mercury going retrograde in your sign right between the second and third week, October 14th. So it moves to go station in that second week, and you understand, okay? Let yourself copy this feeling that you're having in the second week. Like, really check in with yourself in the second week and understand what's going on, because you're doing something right. And understand what that is, because you might just need to like copy and paste that here and there over the next few weeks as Mars is retrograde and Mercury is retrograde. You got a lot of your type of energy retrograde right now. You're traditionally ruled by Mars, and Mercury is retrograde in your sign. Your ruling planet Pluto just moved direct. There's a lot of scorpionic energy moving in weird places. So that's why you want to have everything just put in place. You want to have everything figured out. You want to have everything on autopilot as much as possible by the second week of October. Just remember the Scorpios. And this is why, for example, subscribing to my Patreon page is such a great value, because you get these readings early and ad-free. And you could have known, like, way back then that by the second week of October, Scorpio needs to, like, have things figured out. Okay. But even getting it now, you've got like a good 2 weeks. If you've been subscribed to the YouTube channel with bell notifications on, at least you guys need to do that, because you'll get the reading right when it comes out here. But yeah, second week of October, good stuff. But remember it. Okay. Remember what's going on there. Week number 3, you have Ace of Pentacles rooted down by 9 of Wands. Okay. I don't hate it. I'm not too worried about it. It feels like you're doing better than you expected. You might get a raise. You might get a bonus. Your businesses might do better than you expected. The universe might just like give you something. You might get a gift. But how hard are you working for it? Some of you are like working too hard for something, and it's like the things that you're working less for, or the things that you're, the things that you're pushing yourself less to do are actually doing better. Okay. And you're going to kind of really learn something about how energy works in the third week, where sometimes when you try too hard, or you force something too hard to be something that it's not, or you just squeeze something energetically into fruition, sometimes it yields a really small result when you do that. And then when you don't try that hard, but you inject quality and passion into the effort that you put in, and it's an appropriate, and it's hard work, and it's a labor of love type of thing, but it just shoots off like fireworks and does incredible. You're going to learn something along those lines in the third week. Now, Mercury is retrograde in your sign, so you got to watch out for worrying too much about anything. You could have like a lot more for something or a lot less for something that was really unexpected, and there's a bit of resentment that I'm feeling. I always feel resentment with 9 of Wands, so you might kind of resent your job, or you might resent your career, or you might feel like you're being overworked, especially for like the frontline worker Scorpios out there. I know there are a lot of you. It's funny. A lot of Scorpios are like really in, those types of positions right now. It's good to think about what comes next. It's good to think about, okay, I've done this service. I've done all of these things. I've helped people in this way or that way. What's next for me? How does that evolve? How does it evolve, Scorpio? Week number 3 and week number 4. Week number 4, I'm getting chills. Okay, let's just go ahead and move into week number 4. You guys kind of get what's going on with week number 3. Great potential to get something new, to get a new gift of knowledge, or to get a raise or a bonus, anything like that. But watch out for working too hard or being resentful. But Scorpio, something incredible that's coming in for you, 3rd to 4th week, is the final understanding that things evolve over time and things progress over time. And sometimes, you have to walk away from certain things in order to walk into new things. Even things that have been good for you for a while aren't meant to be forever. Okay. And that's crazy to hear in a year like this. And maybe it's not stopping right now. Maybe it's not the end of the story right now. Maybe it's not until like February or March of 2021 that things really even change very much. But you have to get an understanding that there might be a call to action eventually for a Scorpio, especially in all this Aquarius time that we have coming in the next year. And you got to be ready to hear that call of action, for your purpose or for your desire. And you got to make sure that you're not going against that call of action now by forcing something to be what it's not, and if you're already there, Scorpio, if you already kind of resonate with that, like, okay, I realize now that with this relationship or with this business that I've kind of like really tried to make it something that it's not, or I've like dreamed a dream for that, situation that felt good, but it's not really resonating with me or different people, anything like that. Don't worry about it. It's okay even to still contribute to those things. This is not like a matter of like, okay, I've got to quit everything now and just, go start writing that book. It's really about seeing what still comes in no matter what. Even as I contribute to this business, even as I build this relationship, even as I continue to be on the clock for 12 hours a day, I still want this. I still feel this coming in. There's something bigger than me that is giving me a download of purpose that I've never seen before. And despite all of this that even feels incongruent with that feels like it doesn't support that, it's still here. That's when you know that you're dealing with like soul purpose level stuff. And I feel that, and this is one of the most incredible years for any Scorpio ever. to come into contact with soul purpose level stuff, okay? Big stuff. Stuff that takes years and years and years to like come to, and maybe it's not right this second, but you can at least get an idea of what's really harmonious with you at an energetic level. And you can start to build toward it, okay? Because the Capricorn energy is so foundational. I know it's been hard for all of us. It's made us feel a lot more restricted. It's made us feel a lot less social. It's made us feel, a lot like entrapped maybe. But what it has also done is it's built our purpose into something real. It's given us real thoughts, real tangible insights into where we could get to, about, what the next level of our purpose is, what the next level of our experience is. And we have to value that, okay? We have to see that as something valuable from the universe because, there's like a window of opportunity to it. That's how this time really connects to next year, is next year really becomes like the window of opportunity, whereas this year kind of like built the purpose itself into something like tangible-ish, especially like tangible thoughts, but like also, and that's why writing and journaling is one of the best things, because it's a great way to make a thought tangible without actually doing the action, without, say you want to, start an art business and travel the world, doing different events with it. Like, you write about it in a journal, and you've not bought plane tickets yet, but you have made it tangible. That's a great way to channel this energy in this year. But anyway, Scorpios, I don't want to get off topic, but yeah, 4th week of October, you're going to really slow things down, and you're going to really see the fruit of your labors. And you're really going to see what it all ended up in. And with that slower Scorpio energy, there's just going to be very clear, obvious results and obvious ways forward. And you don't want to deny those paths. 8 of Cups is, we got to walk away from things sometimes, but I don't really feel you to actually be walking away from things in the 4th week of October. This could be like an addiction. This could be like walking away from something more mundane. I'm not talking like soul purpose level stuff, but that's more of what I'm feeling. It's like walking away from a bad cycle, or seeing that, you have to operate in a different way day to day in order to make all of this work the way that you want. And you might walk away from some tendencies, as 7 of Pentacles is very much about results and tendencies. But as you do that, you're really ruminating and thinking about what could be in the future. And how beautiful is that? How incredible is that to see? What an amazing month for Scorpios. And you're in your season at that time too, You're in Scorpio season. So you're going to feel like more purpose, even more, And you can't deny it. We try sometimes to numb out our purpose by working a lot, or by being in that relationship, or by, just being productive all the time, or watching or indulging in media, but at a certain point in time, we can't escape that call to action. So anyway, Scorpio, let's jump over to Patreon and talk more about this call to action. I'm going to do an extended reading over there, getting a central theme into supporting themes, and we'll see more about what this is meaning. And Patreon is a great service, so you guys can get weekly teach-outs. I talk about the week ahead every week over there, every Saturday, and I put these readings out early and ad-free, as well as extended readings, and the one Patreon membership fee gets you like pretty much everything over there. So all the teach-outs, all of the readings, all the extended readings, and it's such an incredible way to support this channel and keep this content coming. It's incredible. So I'll link that in the center of the screen now, and let's do that. I also have merch as well. Everybody likes to support in different ways, so if you kind of would like to get something more tangible, like a shirt or a mug or a sticker or something like that to help support the channel, that is below as well. And on that note, Scorpios, I will talk to you later. Much luck with this incredible month and your time of the year. Bye.